Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins Collections, where we dive into the exciting world of rare coins and hidden treasures. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss an exciting discovery. Today, we're going to explore one of the most intriguing and valuable coins you may have never thought twice about, the United States 1-cent coin from 1977. You might be wondering, how could a simple penny from 1977 possibly be worth anything significant? Well, prepare to be amazed because the value of this little coin is far beyond what you might expect. First, let's take a step back in time to 1977. The world was a different place, disco music was in full swing, Star Wars had just premiered, and the United States was in the midst of an economic recovery. But for coin collectors, 1977 holds a special place for a very unique reason. In 1977, the United States Mint produced millions of pennies, just like they do every year, but not all of them were made with the same level of precision. Some pennies, due to slight flaws in the minting process, have become incredibly rare, making them highly sought after by collectors. These errors and unique features are what make certain coins like the 1977 penny so interesting and valuable. Now, let's talk about the design. The 1-cent coin in 1977, just like many pennies before it, features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, has graced the penny since 1909, and his profile is a symbol of American history and unity. On the reverse, back, side of the coin, you'll find the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial. This design, created by artist Frank Gasparo, was used on pennies from 1959 until 2008. The image captures the grand architecture of the memorial and stands as a tribute to Lincoln's enduring legacy in American culture. So, what makes the 1977 penny worth so much more than face value? Well, the answer lies in a few key factors: rarity and condition. The vast majority of 1977 pennies were produced with no errors and have little value beyond their 1-cent face value. However, there are some very special exceptions that have caught the attention of collectors and numismatists alike. The most notable factor is the error coins. The 1977 penny is famous for having a specific error that increases its value dramatically. These errors happen when the minting process doesn't work as intended, and the result is a coin that's not quite like the others. Some 1977 pennies have been struck off-center, others have double dies, and some have striking issues that make them stand out. These coins are extremely rare and much more desirable to collectors because they are so unique. The errors are often subtle, making it hard for the average person to spot the differences. For example, a double die error occurs when the coin is struck multiple times, causing the design to appear slightly misaligned or doubled. This mistake is not something that happens often, and when it does, it creates a coin that collectors can't wait to get their hands on. Another important factor that drives the value of the 1977 penny is its condition. Coins in pristine condition, meaning they have been carefully preserved and haven't experienced significant wear, are worth far more than those with signs of heavy circulation. Coins that have been well taken care of, stored in a safe environment, and kept away from the elements are considered to be in uncirculated condition. These coins, often referred to as mint state, hold the most value in the numismatic market because they are the closest to their original minting state. If you happen to come across a 1977 penny that looks like it just came out of the mint, don't be too quick to dismiss it. There's a good chance that it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. So, let's talk more about some of the most valuable variants and errors you'll want to look out for. Off-center strikes. This error occurs when the coin is not properly aligned in the press during the minting process. If the coin is struck at an angle, you'll see the design off-center, leaving some areas blank or poorly defined. These coins are highly collectible and can be worth thousands of dollars. Double die errors. This is one of the most well-known and sought-after types of errors. In a double die penny, the design appears to be doubled or shifted due to a problem with the minting press. The most valuable 1977 pennies with this error can fetch a pretty penny. Die cracks and cuds. These are imperfections that occur when a die used in the minting process becomes cracked or damaged. The coin could have visible cracks or lumps in the design, making it highly unusual and valuable for collectors looking for quirky, one-of-a-kind specimens. Proof coins. These are specially minted coins that were intended for collectors. Although they are not error coins, proof 1977 pennies, if in excellent condition, can be quite valuable as well. Alright, now for the moment you've been waiting for. If you have a 1977 penny that's in excellent, uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a rare error like a double die or an off-center strike, you could be holding a coin worth up to $33,000. Yes, you heard that right, $33,000 for a single penny. It's amazing how something as small and humble as a 1977 penny can hold such tremendous value. So, what do you think? Have you checked your change to see if you have one of these rare and valuable 1977 pennies? It might just be hiding in your collection or even in your spare change jar. Remember, the key to unlocking its value is in its rarity, condition, and potential minting errors. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that you may have in your collection, or perhaps in your pocket right now, and it could be worth far more than just 1 cent. We're diving into the history, design, and value of the United States 1-cent coin from 1975. This seemingly humble penny has a lot more to offer than meets the eye, so stick with us until the end, where we'll reveal just how much this little piece of history could be worth today. Let's start by going back in time to 1975. It was a pivotal year in American history. The country was adjusting to post-Vietnam War challenges, the Watergate scandal was still fresh in people's minds, and President Gerald Ford was leading the nation. On the cultural front, 1975 marked the rise of disco, the release of the iconic movie Jaws, and the growing popularity of video games. Amidst this fascinating period, the United States Mint was busy producing coins to meet the needs of a growing population and economy. The 1975 1-cent coin, or penny, was part of the regular circulating coinage and looked remarkably similar to the pennies minted before it. However, certain features and errors in the minting process made the 1975 penny an intriguing collectible. At the time, the penny's value was still just 1 cent, but the rarity and unique characteristics of certain 1975 pennies have caused the price to skyrocket in recent years. The 1975 penny features the well-known and iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, side. Lincoln has been featured on the 1-cent coin since 1909, and his likeness remains one of the most enduring symbols in American numismatics. The engraving, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, captures the solemn and determined face of one of the most revered U.S. presidents. On the reverse side of the coin, we see the classic image of the Lincoln Memorial, which has graced the back of the penny since 1959. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the memorial stands as a tribute to Lincoln's legacy and his impact on American society. The reverse design symbolizes strength, unity, and the ideals of democracy, much like the values Lincoln himself stood for. While the design of the 1975 penny may seem familiar, there are some hidden aspects and rare variants that make certain 1975 pennies extraordinarily valuable. You might be thinking, a penny's a penny, right? Well, not quite. When it comes to coin collecting, rarity and condition are what ultimately determine a coin's value. While most 1975 pennies are worth just their face value, there are a few key characteristics that can make certain ones extraordinarily valuable. The first major factor is minting errors. When coins are produced, sometimes the minting process doesn't go perfectly, and that's when errors occur. These errors can range from minor imperfections to major defects, but either way, they make the coin unique, and therefore, more valuable. The 1975 penny is famous for certain types of errors that make it stand out to collectors. One of the most desirable errors found on the 1975 penny is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck multiple times by the same die, causing the image to appear doubled or shifted. A double die 1975 penny is highly collectible and can command a premium price, especially if the doubling is visible and dramatic. This error is a prime example of how a slight flaw in the minting process can turn a regular penny into a rare treasure. Another error to look out for is the off-center strike. When a coin is struck slightly off-center, it can result in parts of the design being cut off, leaving some areas blank or misaligned. These off-center 1975 pennies are much rarer than those struck properly and can fetch a high price depending on how much of the design is visible. Another key factor that drives the value of a 1975 penny is its condition. Coins that are well preserved, with minimal wear and tear, are far more valuable than those that have been used in circulation for years. A coin in mint condition, or uncirculated, has been carefully kept in a safe, protected environment, free from the wear of everyday transactions. The condition of the coin is often determined by a grading system, with coins receiving a grade from 1 to 70. Coins that are graded in the 60s or higher are considered to be in excellent condition, making them more desirable to collectors. If you have a 1975 penny that looks as though it just came from the mint, it could be worth much more than you think. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to have one of these rare 1975 pennies with a minting error, like a double die or an off-center strike, or if you possess a penny in uncirculated condition, you could be holding a coin worth $35,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $35,000 for a single 1975 penny. It's incredible to think that such a small coin could have such a big value. So, before you toss that penny into a jar or spend it on your next cup of coffee, take a moment to check if you have a rare 1975 penny in your collection. It could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Remember, coin collecting is all about paying attention to the small details, and sometimes, the most valuable coins are hiding in plain sight. Today, we're going to talk about a seemingly ordinary coin, the United States 1-cent coin from 1972. You might be thinking, it's just a penny, how much could it really be worth? Well, you might be surprised to learn that some 1972 pennies can be worth way more than their face value. Stick around until the end, and I'll reveal exactly how much a 1972 penny could fetch today. Hint, it's a lot more than 1 cent. Before we get into the exciting part, let's take a quick look at the history behind the 1972 penny. The year 1972 was a significant one for the United States. It was an election year, with President Richard Nixon seeking re-election, and the country was still adjusting to the cultural and political changes of the late 60s and early 70s. It was also a time of innovation, as technology was rapidly advancing and the economy was shifting in new directions. The United States Mint, responsible for producing the country's coins, was hard at work ensuring that there was enough currency in circulation for a growing population. The 1972 1-cent coin was one of the many coins produced that year and features the famous design that has graced the penny since 1909, President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, back. Now, these designs are well known to most of us, but what's really interesting is that some 1972 pennies, because of minting errors and other factors, have become highly coveted by collectors. Let's talk about the design of the 1972 penny. On the front, you'll find the image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The design, created by artist Victor David Brenner, has been featured on the penny for over 100 years and is one of the most iconic images in American numismatics. Lincoln's face is depicted in a thoughtful, almost solemn expression, a fitting tribute to the legacy of a leader who helped guide the nation through the Civil War and who championed the abolition of slavery. The motto, "In God We Trust," appears above his portrait, while the year of minting, 1972, is displayed just below. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to Lincoln's enduring influence on American history and culture. The memorial's grandeur and the inscription, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, highlight the values of unity and strength that are central to the nation's identity. While the design of the 1972 penny may seem pretty straightforward, there are some fascinating details that could make a specific penny worth much more than you think. So, how can a coin as common as the 1972 penny be worth so much more than its face value? It all comes down to rarity and minting errors. While the vast majority of 1972 pennies were produced with little fanfare, a select few contain subtle, and sometimes not so subtle, mistakes during the minting process that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. One of the most famous errors associated with the 1972 penny is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck multiple times by the same die, causing the design to appear doubled or shifted. On a 1972 penny with a double die error, the most noticeable feature is the doubling of the letters in the word Liberty or the date itself. This type of error is particularly valuable because it makes the coin unique. There's only one like it. Another error to look out for is the off-center strike. An off-center strike happens when a coin is not properly aligned in the press, causing the design to be misaligned or partially missing. This can create a distinctive look that collectors love, making an off-center 1972 penny far more valuable than a regular one. While minting errors are the biggest factor that makes a 1972 penny stand out, the condition of the coin also plays a major role in determining its value. Coins that have been in circulation for decades often show signs of wear and tear, scratches, discoloration, and fading. However, some coins manage to escape the harsh effects of time and remain in pristine, uncirculated condition. A coin that has been well preserved and has minimal signs of wear is often referred to as being in mint state. These coins are highly desirable to collectors because they are in the best possible condition and are closest to their original state when they left the mint. If you have a 1972 penny that's in near perfect condition, you could be holding on to something quite valuable. Okay, now for the moment you've all been waiting for. If you happen to have a 1972 penny that features a minting error, like the double die or off-center strike, or if your penny is in uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a coin worth an impressive $36,000. Yes, you heard that right, $36,000 for a single 1972 penny. Imagine finding that hidden gem in your spare change or in an old jar of coins. It's not every day you come across a penny worth so much, but when you do, it's an absolute game changer. So, what do you think? Are you ready to start checking your change for those elusive, rare 1972 pennies? Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, remember that even the most ordinary coins can hide incredible value, especially if they have a unique minting error or are in pristine condition. Today, we're talking about a special little coin, the United States 1-cent coin from 1961. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny from 1961? That's not worth much, right? Well, think again. This seemingly ordinary penny has actually become a highly sought-after collector's item, and it could be worth far more than you could ever imagine. Stick with me until the end, because we're going to reveal exactly how much this penny could be worth today. Trust me, you'll be shocked. Before we dive into the juicy details about the value of the 1961 penny, let's take a quick step back in time to 1961. It was an exciting year for the United States, marked by significant historical, political, and cultural events. The country was in the early years of the 1960s, a time of great change and transformation. President John F. Kennedy had just taken office, and the Cold War was in full swing. America was on the brink of technological breakthroughs, with the space race heating up and innovations in science and industry taking center stage. On the economic front, 1961 was a year when the U.S. Mint continued producing its standard coins, and among them was the 1961 1-cent coin. This penny, while common at the time, was part of the U.S. Mint's ongoing effort to produce a steady supply of currency to meet the needs of a growing economy. The coin you'll find from this year features the iconic design that has adorned the U.S. penny for decades, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1961 penny. The obverse, or front, of the coin features the face of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The design was created by artist Victor David Brenner and has been the face of the penny since 1909. Lincoln's profile is shown with an expression of wisdom and determination, reflecting his legacy as one of the most revered leaders in U.S. history. The inscription, "In God We Trust," is located above Lincoln's portrait, and the coin also bears the year of minting, 1961, beneath his bust. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, which has been the iconic design since 1959. This design was created by artist Frank Gasparo and is meant to honor the memory of Lincoln's dedication to the country. The memorial symbolizes freedom, unity, and the preservation of American values, making it a fitting tribute to Lincoln's legacy. The inscription, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, is displayed beneath the memorial, representing the unity of the American people. While these designs are familiar to most, certain rare variations of the 1961 penny could make this coin worth far more than just 1 cent. So, what makes the 1961 penny stand out in the world of coin collecting? The key to its value lies in rarity and minting errors. Although millions of 1961 pennies were minted and circulated, some of them contain imperfections or unique features that set them apart from the rest. These imperfections are what make the coin so desirable to collectors. One of the most coveted errors in the 1961 penny is the double die error. This occurs when a coin is struck twice by the same die, resulting in a double image of certain parts of the design. The letters in Liberty and In God We Trust, or even the date itself, can appear doubled or shifted. This type of error is extremely rare, and if you have one, it could dramatically increase the value of your 1961 penny. Another rare variant that can make a 1961 penny valuable is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't perfectly aligned with the press during minting, causing the design to be printed off-center. These coins are usually considered defective, but collectors absolutely love them because they are unique and highly collectible. An off-center 1961 penny could be a real treasure if you happen to find one. Finally, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins that have been in circulation for decades tend to show signs of wear and tear, scratches, discoloration, and fading. However, uncirculated coins, those that have been carefully preserved and kept in pristine condition, are incredibly valuable. If you've managed to hold onto a mint-state 1961 penny, or you find one in near-perfect condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Coin condition is typically graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin that shows no signs of wear. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. A 1961 penny in mint state, graded MS65 or higher, can fetch significantly more than one that has been heavily circulated. If you have a 1961 penny that looks almost as good as the day it was minted, you may have a coin that could greatly increase in value as time goes on. So, if you happen to find a 1961 penny in uncirculated condition, with no scratches, dents, or discoloration, it's worth holding on to, especially if it's one of those rare error coins. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much can a 1961 penny really be worth? The truth is, some 1961 pennies are worth a lot more than you'd expect. If you happen to have a double die error, off-center strike, or a mint-state 1961 penny in pristine condition, you could be looking at a coin worth an astounding $38,000. Yes, that's right, $38,000 for a single 1961 penny. It's incredible to think that a coin with such a modest face value could be worth a small fortune. So, there you have it, your everyday 1-cent coin from 1961 could be worth up to $38,000. It's always a good idea to check your pocket change or old coin collections for rare and valuable finds. You never know when you might have a treasure just waiting to be discovered. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a particular coin that may look like just another penny, but trust me, it's anything but ordinary. We're talking about the United States 1-cent coin from 1980. It might seem like a typical penny at first glance, but there are some surprising secrets behind this little coin, and if you're lucky enough to have one in the right condition, it could be worth a small fortune. Stick around, because by the end of this video, I'll reveal just how much this 1980 penny could fetch today. Hint, it's a lot more than 1 cent. Let's take a quick trip back to 1980. The United States was in a bit of an economic shift during this time. The country was facing high inflation, and the Federal Reserve had started raising interest rates to combat rising prices. It was a time when the economy was fluctuating, and political changes were brewing as President Jimmy Carter was finishing up his term, with Ronald Reagan gearing up to take office in 1981. During this time, the U.S. Mint was hard at work producing coins to keep up with the demand for currency. The 1980 penny was just one of the many coins produced that year, but it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its potential rarity and the chance to find rare minting errors. The 1981 cent coin is part of the ongoing production of the Lincoln Memorial penny, which had been the standard design for the penny since 1959. The Lincoln Memorial design symbolizes freedom, unity, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Before we get into the value and rarity of the 1980 penny, let's take a quick look at its design. The obverse side features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's calm and dignified profile has been gracing the penny for over a century. The inscription, "In God We Trust," is written above his head, and the year 1980 is just below Lincoln's profile. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial with the words, "E pluribus unum," which translates to, "out of many, one." This symbol of unity and strength is a reminder of Lincoln's pivotal role in American history, especially in preserving the Union during the Civil War. While the design of the 1980 penny may not look drastically different from other pennies, there are some subtle differences, and even rare minting errors that make the 1980 penny special for collectors. Here's where things get exciting. The 1980 penny has become a collector's dream because of some rare minting errors that occurred during its production. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin's production process, and these errors are usually what make a coin valuable. So, let's take a closer look at the kinds of mistakes that might make a 1980 penny more valuable than its face value. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is struck more than once, causing the letters and numbers to appear doubled. On a 1980 penny with a double die error, you might see doubled lettering in the word "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," and even a doubled date. These errors are extremely rare, and if you happen to find one, it could be worth a significant amount. Another error to keep an eye out for is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is misaligned during the minting process, causing the design to be stamped off-center. An off-center 1980 penny can be a real treasure for collectors because the error makes the coin unique. These coins are often considered defective by some, but they are highly prized by numismatists because of their rarity and interesting appearance. A less common, but still valuable error, is the clipped planchet error. This occurs when the metal blank, or planchet, is improperly cut and a portion of the coin is missing. A 1980 penny with a clipped planchet will have an obvious portion of the coin missing, giving it an unusual shape. These errors are rare, and because they happen in such small quantities, collectors are always on the lookout for them. While minting errors are definitely the star of the show when it comes to the 1980 penny, don't forget that the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. A penny that's been in circulation for years might show signs of wear and tear, scratches, discoloration, and fading. But if you happen to find a 1980 penny in mint state, meaning it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could fetch a premium price. Coin condition is graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is. If you find a 1980 penny with no visible wear, no scratches, and minimal discoloration, you might be holding onto something that could fetch a pretty penny at auction. So now, the moment you've all been waiting for: how much could a 1980 penny actually be worth? Well, the truth is that it depends on the rarity and condition of the coin, but for a 1980 penny with a minting error or in pristine condition, you could be looking at a value of up to $40,000. Yes, you heard that right, $40,000 for a single 1980 penny. It's absolutely mind-blowing to think that a coin worth just 1 cent could be worth $40,000 under the right circumstances. So, next time you're checking through your spare change, make sure you keep an eye out for that elusive 1980 penny with a minting error or one that's in perfect condition. Who knows? You might just find a coin worth thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed today's video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more exciting coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.